Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party. I am Philip, joined by my co-hosts Darren and Daniel. And gentlemen, I know it's a holiday weekend, so I thank you for making the time. What Frontier Day shopping opportunities are you taking advantage of?
Like Frontier Day, I need to see what it actually is, because I'm getting vibes of like Unification Day from, Firefly. I'm like, is this the Imperial Overlords? I'm like, I don't know. The name needs some work, but
well, I did Google. I mean, just because you brought it up, because I was like, is this something I've missed? And they've mentioned it. And I just didn't pay attention. But apparently this is a solely a Picard invention.
I don't think it's been in any
I don't know if it was Memory Alpha, probably, that was like, oh, this is the beginning of Starfleet. But then apparently it also had another entry that said the showrunner, who is, tweets all the time, Terry, said that it commemorates when the NX-01 launched. So it's April, whatever that was.
Okay.
All right.
That's cool. I mean, it's a cool idea. I'm just, it doesn't feel like a very Federation thing to do, but I guess they are doing it. I don't know.
What about you, Daniel? How is your Frontier Day weekend going?
Pretty good. Nothing exciting going on here, so I can't, nothing to report anyways.
I mean, did you do anything with that far stretch of the frontier medicine on Deep Space Nine?
Yeah, we watched, I actually don't remember what episode. Oh, no, we watched, Worf goes on the Klingon ship and Martog's the captain and he doesn't want to fight anybody. So Worf has to challenge him and it's all Klingon stuff. And, that's fine, but not my favorite type of episodes. So I guess it's a little slice of, everybody has always been asking for a Klingon show. And I'm just like, I don't want a season of this. I don't want to watch this all the time.
That was Commander Worf backdoor pilot.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this, of course, marked new Star Trek, which comes along seasonally. On Frontier Day, of course, there's always new Star Trek on Frontier Day. And so this is the new season of Star Trek Picard. So season 3, episode 1, titled, on-screen titled, which is a rarity in the 21st century, The Next Generation. So we're going to be talking about that.
Where could they get that title from? It's so.
The last episode
is it a good title? Is it just Geordi's kid? Is that the only Next Generation? And the end, I guess. But there's only two.
It was just because this is the show about the Next Generation.
Okay.
Ignore those two other seasons.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I think it has a little bit of a dual meaning, but it is also like, hey, fans, don't forget that this is about your favorite show, which was called The Next Generation.
Okay. Which was the plan the whole time.
Well,
I'd say it's like 75-25, like 75 nostalgia bait, 25 like, we have, we have a LaForge and, look, it's the Next Generation.
I feel like they would save that title for like the episode where you get the hero shot where everybody's on the bridge. That's the one you name the Next Generation.
You just got to be the first or the last. I mean, middle of this would be weird. Yeah. So I thought we'd do something not unusual, but just a different way instead of just going step by step in the episode. I thought we'd go character by character. And so kind of a different way of organizing it, but I'm crazy. What do you want? It's a Frontier Day spirit. Is how I'm boldly going.
Stop blaming everything on Frontier Day.
Phil is very excited about a new holiday. He's just,
you know what? There's not many. I mean, there's what is it? There's First Contact Day.
Yeah.
And we're not
Captain
near
Picard
Montana.
Day.
Yeah, well, that's based on ship, so it depends. Well, I can tell you one ship that doesn't celebrate Captain Picard Day, and that's the U.S.S. Titan, but we'll get into that. But yeah, so there's Voyager had what did they call it? Not Ancestors Day, but whatever they call it. Oh yeah,
I'm now picturing like some crewmen making Captain Shaw Day, and it's just not going over well. Like I don't feel like he's like he just tears the banner down.
All All right. Well, I thought we'd start. I don't know if this is actually order of appearance, but it's kind of how I labeled it. So I thought, bizarrely enough, we're going to go with someone who doesn't always get that much attention, but we're going to start with her. And that's Beverly Crusher, because that's the first person we see. So Daniel, I know this is all more fresh in your mind. Darren, this is a second go around. So Daniel, what do you think of Beverly Crusher and your Beverly Crusher thoughts?
I mean, it's obviously great to see her back. This is the first time we've seen her since Nemesis, so it's great to see her. She's on this weird ship. I want to talk about ships at some point.
Yeah,
they're all tiny. I want to talk about it, but we'll get into it later. We're talking about Beverly, and we're not going to swerve. She's I guess she's real tough. She's shooting at the aliens and beating them up and blowing stuff up, and it's fine. It's exciting. We don't get a lot of her though. I mean, it's just like the exciting, inciting incident.
Now, Daniel, you didn't pause it and go frame by frame for all the Beverly paraphernalia that was being shown.
There were a lot of paraphernalia.
We got to see her candle.
No, there wasn't a candle.
It was a little heavy-handed. Honestly, It was like just one thing. Just show like the Jack Crusher thing, right? And that's it. You like to like do this like sort of almost. It's almost like what are those things called? Oh my goodness! Like a diorama of Beverly Crusher memorabilia.
She sets it all out for that day. I wonder if anybody's going to come visit my ship today, and they'll see the things I have laid out for them.
Well, and what we don't see in that establishing shot? Sorry, I just wanted to no baby pictures of anybody. I'm not. We'll talk about that maybe later. But there's no Wesley baby pictures, or maybe
they're all
it's just a flash of
there
light.
was a pad sitting there. That was obviously the photo album. Yeah,
it was turned off. Yeah.
Flash of light.
All right. What about you, Dan? What'd you think of I don't know, shotgun wielding Beverly? I get it, but it's also stupid. Pump action, right? No, it's
I mean,
rifle. Just shoot it.
I'll say it does make a little more sense in the greater context, but it did catch me off guard. Well, and then the bad guys had like an SMG where I'm like, why can't our phasers fire that fast? Because that seems like something that you would want in a phaser fight. And they're just like, they're just like, I'm like, oh man, this is great. But we have that, and it's the call to action. It's the inciting incident, like you guys said. I mean, this is what starts this adventure that Picard just so happened he said he wanted to go on. So here you go, Picard. Here's your adventure. Mysterious phone call on a long dead communicator.
Oh God, I rolled my eyes so hard at that. I'm just, oh my goodness. There's whatever. Doesn't matter. It's
definitely related. So I feel like we can go into it. That I felt like, if I'm the editor, I mean, I've never edited anything, so I'm just talking out my butt here. But if I'm the editor looking at this scene, I'm like, okay, we're just going to go to here's the comm badge. He opens this thing, sees the comm badge, and presses the comm badge. We don't need 5 minutes of like, do you hear something, computer? Is it just me? Wait a minute. What is this? Is it it's the comm badge. You know what a comm badge is? Well, open it. Press the button.
Yes, but you're not wrong. And there are some parts of this episode that feel kind of almost like the actors are kind of reconnecting to their characters, and there's a little bit of wooden dialogue, but I give it a heavy pass in a lot of ways, because there's a lot of season 3 that really could be like your beginning of Picard. Like, you really don't need any of season. Sorry, Philip, but you don't really need any season 1 or season 2. I think you apologize
to a lot more people than just me.
Well, all that to say, like, yes, that scene with the comm badge is twice as long as it needs to be and way over explained. But if you don't know why these characters were all on this ship and all they spell it out for you because they kind of have to. And I give it a bit of a pass. So.
Now, Daniel, I'm actually on board with this. I mean, of course, we don't know what the backstory is. Darren probably does. But that they have explained the reason we haven't heard any mention of Beverly in season 1, in season 2, is that she just disappeared after 20 years or just, cut off on contact, which on one hand, okay, that fits an explanation of why we haven't heard. I mean, obviously we want to know more. the other thing, but the second thing, which what we're always scared of, is that because she had a terrible grizzled life, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want that. I want that she has a good reason. But I don't know. What do you think of sort of the she just broke ties and no one's heard from her in 20 years?
I mean, I'm fine with it. Like, yeah, like you say, if it doesn't lead to some sort of massively depressing life on the run from these aliens for 20 years or something, like whatever. Like, again, these people, like, they work together for 10 years, 15 years maybe, and then sometimes like you can still be close friends with those people, and then slowly people start to fall off. That's fine. Whatever happened, obviously something happened. There was like an argument or whatever, and then she's like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to go do my own thing and live my own life over here. That's fine. That's totally fine. So whatever.
Now I have a question. How does Laris know about Beverly? Because like, is there a Picard memoir that was like, by the way, we tried to hook up, or was this like some like couple?
She is an intelligence, right? So I mean, she's done her research.
Yeah, because it's like, and you used to tried to be lovers, and it's like, I don't try, I suppose is the word, but anyway. But I love this. I know this probably is an original thought. I mean, I thought this originally, but I've seen other people mention it. So, but that like. What do you say? Oh, instead of like, whatever flowers, I made her, not with his words, I made her a mixtape. I'm like, yeah, this been from 1990. I don't know if it's been a mixtape since then.
Of classical pieces. Yeah.
I did forget to mention that the opening song. I
don't want to set the world on fire. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's a very, very famous song for many reasons, but that song was also featured very heavily in Fallout 3. The video
I was going to say, I felt, I was a little jarring at the very beginning. I'm like, am I watching Fallout, like a Fallout commercial? Like, what is going on? But okay.
But yeah. Other than Beverly is turned into mysterious warrior. I mean, I don't know. But it also made me think, and in a good way. Because that first scene, she's shooting that, she shoots the smoke. It's like a very, very action scene. I mean, I'm sure it's more of an action scene that Gates ever has been given in her life, unfortunately. But I'm also thinking like this is the same character they had breaking pots and Cupid over people's head. I'm like, thank goodness we've at least evolved a bit on what women can do. So anyway,
and don't worry, this isn't a. Beverly's stasis pod is not the Spock shuttle of the season. Like it is not. Well, and I wish she could be part of the action, but she's no.
She was only available one day of shooting. Yeah. We did the first day, and she's going to be in the last episode. Status.
That is not the case. I'll just say that.
All right. Well, any other Beverly thoughts? I mean, let's go ahead. We can get into it. It's fine. Crusher Jr. Daniel, what do you think?
I don't know. Darren may know the answer very, very much to this question. I don't even want there to be a hint of who is the dad. I don't want that to be an issue. I don't know why has he got a British accent? It bothers me. Like they're either throwing red herrings at the wall, and they want you to think this, or there's some other.
I wasn't even thinking that, to be honest. That's
the only thing I can think of.
Really? I didn't even think about that.
She showed up. So she left 20 years ago. Suddenly. Oh, well, what happened 20 years and 9 months ago, though?
What happened if you gave her that mixtape?
Is all I'm wondering. And I'm like, come on. I mean, I don't care that she has a kid. That's what I'm concerned is going to be like at the end. It's your son.
You feel like when she comes out of the status pod, Jean-Luc is going to channel Riker from the child and be like, who's the father?
I just don't want it to be an issue. That's what I'm very concerned about. Other than that, it's fine. Whatever. It's just some kid. We don't know anything about him yet. So
now, Darren, you know more. Is this setting up young Avengers? I mean, young TNG.
I mean, no, there's no Avenger connection, but no. For a lot, for some of these things, I'll just plead the fifth because there's nothing I can really say on
without saying.
I think. And that's the one thing that Gates did say is she did say that is her son in the tweet. So I think that's because I don't think they technically say
son?
that.
Is there actual?
No, not Gates' son. But I don't think they technically say that in the episode. But she responded to someone because someone was asking like, why is she so
adopted?
Well, someone said what they were tweeting is they said like, oh my gosh, like she's just killing people. What about her Hippocratic oath? And I'm like, And everybody pointed out that has to do with medicine, not like general life. Like, it's not like doctors aren't allowed to kill people in a war. So anyway, they were talking about, and she just said that she had been through a lot in defending her son, and then people were like, well, we didn't actually say it was your son, I think, until later episodes, but
no, he does right in the episode.
Well, I feel
he?
like the question, I guess, is, do you take, he does. You're right. He says, like, I take people at their word until it's proven otherwise. So, like, it could be like, he says he's their son, but it's really like she adopted him because, or he's a cleaning. But no, just like, no, it's a son. Yes, it's exactly what he says. We're not hiding.
Well, and that's the other thing that people aren't getting is people are like, that doesn't make sense. Like, where was he in Insurrection and Next Gen? And I'm like,
he's under 20.
Well, yeah, I was thinking, like, you guys don't realize how much time has passed, like, in universe. Like, there's plenty of time, like you were saying, Philip, in that 20 years she's been gone time to have a kid. Like, that it's like the fact that he wasn't running around in Nemesis doesn't make any difference. That wouldn't have worked.
She could have been pregnant during Nemesis. We don't know, right?
I just want to make sure that he has just a lovely relationship with his bigger brother. And I want them
like
to
all
light
day.
appears every now and then.
you see a light bulb pushing him on the swing. That'd be funny.
See, I feel like that's the I mean, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm already conflicted. You can tell. I'm glad. Now, you may not agree. I'm glad that Wes did appear. I mean, in season 2, like, you could say, like, oh, it's dumb, but, like, okay, he still exists. We know he's a traveler. I mean, it makes sense. Everything he says, no, but okay, he exists. They nodded. It's fine. But then now, throughout this whole season, you're going to be like, why isn't Wesley showing up to help out his mom and brother, or But what are you going to do?
It's going to be like Cybok in Discovery. Why? Where's Cybok?
Yeah.
We see Michael. We see Spock. Where's Cybok? It's going to be like this the whole time. Why do we never even mention Wesley? Shouldn't he be there at least? Or
don't they imply Cybok in Strange New Worlds?
Yes. Well, they don't imply on the show him, but Daniel hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, so. at the
I didn't see that yet. All right, cool.
I'm sorry, how long has Strange New Worlds been out, Daniel? Jeez, you have no. I don't feel bad for that.
He's waiting to rewatch.
No, I don't care anyways.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to go ahead and call that Wesley is the Captain Marvel of Picard season 3. He's got other things to do. More important things. Okay.
But he always wears that communicator pager that he can be reached at.
He has the comm badge. Everyone still has their TNG comm badge. He has the silver one from when he was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on to the man himself, Jean-Luc Picard. We see him. Time has passed. I forget. They probably say since season 2. But Darren, what do you think of where we find Jean-Luc at the beginning and throughout this episode?
Yeah, I mean, again, we start with Frontier Day. We're talking about giving speeches, and I think we could kind of couple Picard with Laris, and like you said, we see her at the beginning because they do. It kind of reminded me in the beginning of season 2 where you can kind of start to tell, like, oh, some of these characters are not going to be returning for this season. And I think that's the same with Laris. Like, she is gracefully like, I'm going to go on my side quest over here.
This
and
is her one
maybe you'll
scene.
see me later. Maybe you won't. Who knows? And I'm like, I think they kind of had to do that because, what else is she going to do? She was more involved with last season's story, and that's okay. So I'm fine. And they also reestablish kind of what their relationship is to a degree. Like, she knows about Beverly. Obviously, it's not like he's hiding something. And now we're off on our not Frontier Day. Yeah,
Frontier Day weekend.
Our Frontier Day weekend.
Going crazy.
Yeah. All the cadets are going nuts. It's like their spring break. But
welcome to MTV's Frontier Day break.
But no, I like it. I think I love his interaction with Riker. We're going to get so many great Riker, like when he said, like, we're going on a road trip. Like, that's literally what we're going to get, guys. Like, it's a lot of fun.
What about you, Daniel? How do you think? We've seen Old Man Picard these past 2 seasons, and you can say what you want about his character. But what do you think of where we find Jean-Luc and where he seems to be going?
Well, yes, yeah, he is certainly old, but that's the show. That's fine. He's fine. You know, he seems pretty concerned about Beverly, but obviously that's the whole thing of this episode. I don't know. It's I do like the banter with him and Riker. Of course, it's good. It's good. It's always good to see those characters together again. But I don't know. Like the scene with him and Laris doesn't really. I kind of feel like they should have like an arc for him somehow, and I don't know that we've gotten there yet. Maybe there will be one, but it's like it doesn't feel like there's like anything established here other than let's go save Beverly, which is fine. That's fine. So there's not really a lot of meat for him in this first episode. I think. Sorry, I just real quick because I just thought of it. Are they trying to imply something that's going like maybe medically wrong with him? Like when he mentions the wrong base during the conversation with Shaw.
No, he's out of touch. I think that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is a retired admiral. He has not been in Starfleet in many years, and it kind of also is a tell to Shaw of like because it's like if these are actual orders, like, and you don't know the right starbase, like that's a red flag. So no, it's nothing medical connected with that. It's literally just he messed up.
He's still an android, which they clearly established in this episode, and is essential for new viewers to know.
Look, I'm sorry you had to watch season 1 and 2 again, Philip, but it doesn't matter at all.
Again, it's hard and it's interesting, to watch this because I didn't do it this way. That this is your first Picard. It'd be interesting to watch that because you can catch it up. Oh, he has a new girlfriend who's Romulan, and you can kind of work it out. You don't have to really know everything.
It's literally that's kind of interesting. I wonder what the story is that. Well, we happen to have 2 seasons you can watch if you want to know, but you don't have to.
And I am glad because, obviously I have many complaints, but of course, end of season 2, that was like a thing. So like if they didn't address it at the beginning of season 3, like it or not, it would have been kind of very glaring. Like, never mind, we're ignoring everything. No,
we get a scene where they deal with it. Because it would have been weird if like she's not in the house at all and he gets his comm badge and then leaves and we're like, well, where's Laris? Well, we're never going to talk about her ever again. It's like, no, it's not that.
Okay. Well, we're going to bleed right into it because, as you say, this is turning into a little bit of a buddy comedy, and that's Will Riker, Captain Will Riker, captain on the bridge. I always like that sort of like Admiral and he's right there, Captain Riker. So, yeah, I mean, and
we get the new space dock when they fly up, the extra pods around it. It's
that's
big.
Pretty cool.
It is cool, yeah.
That's a neat way to show progression. Like somebody thought, like, hey, these have looked the exact same for 40 years. Let's make them a little.
And I will say, this is a whole new space dock. This is like a version 2. It's even bigger, but it is an evolution of the old Earth space dock.
No, there's and I'm interested in what y'all think, but there was a line, and Darren, maybe I shouldn't ask you in case you know the answer.
I'll just plead the fifth if I need to, yeah.
Daniel, what do you think of the line from Will? Because you could take it a bunch of ways, where Jean-Luc's like basically goes, I'm sorry, Will, that I'm taking away from your family. And he says, I think Deanna Kester will be glad I'm gone. And I was like, trouble? You could read it as like, the ladies, they're happy to, but I kind of just like, trouble.
Yeah, they linger on it, and it's like, okay, like maybe there was some falling out or fight or something. I'm not sure, but I'm sure we'll find out. I'm sure we know
it is part of the story. That's all I'll say. But like, it's not like, he's not losing anyone else in his life. It's not like Thad level drama, but
yeah, I was just worried about the Riker Troys. I was like, oh, okay. He's already, last time we saw him, he was, he's all right, but he's lost a son, obviously. I was like, I don't want anything more bad to happen to him.
In season 2, did he like semi-retire or something?
No, in season 2, he's not in season 2.
Oh, season 1. Sorry, season 1.
Season 1, he's basically reserve. He's a reserve.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he comes in with the fleet at the end.
Right.
Yeah. He's Captain Reserve.
What I'm curious about is because right now he's active. And
well, sort of. Like, I think he's still kind of reserved because, like Shaw says, he doesn't have a ship. He's a captain by rank, but not by posting.
That was going to be my question, because he says that he was on the Titan, and the Titan got upgraded, and now Shaw has the Titan.
All right.
So
let's get into this, because I think this is BS. But whatever, it's not my world. This is me. This is Philip's opinion. I know Discovery established this, but I think it's stupid. And there's a reason I think Discovery did it. But anyway, I'll get to it. You can't in my opinion, you can't refit a ship and then add an A. It's still the ship. It's not like Motion Picture was the Enterprise A. Now the reason I thought Discovery did an A was because they're trying to say, oh no, this is a different ship, will fool everyone. They'll think they won't realize it's the original ship. I'm like, okay, whatever. This time they're like, because I just assumed it was the Titan A. It's a new ship. Don't even think about it. But now they've sort of said, oh no, it's the old Titan, but they completely changed it and added the A. And I'm like, why? That's stupid.
No. So it's worse than that. It's worse than that, because it's a different class. Meaning they didn't just refit it. They would have had to literally rebuild it. They would, or just built a new ship. It makes no sense.
No, and you're both absolutely right.
I mean, this looks nothing like what I saw.
Yeah, there's many of us that look at it and we're like it's the starship of Theseus. Like, you've changed so much of it. Does it even look like the Titan at all? But I feel, and I think I've seen some other things, not in the show, but like in articles and stuff that have said that Riker was also involved in kind of the development of this Neo Constitution, like Mach 3 version. So yeah, I feel they are kind of shoehorning, like, we need to establish that this is a new ship, but we also want it to be Riker was previously here and Shaw had to take his music out. Like, and they can't really have both. So they kind of just zip past it. And I mean, it's not really an issue after this episode. So, but
we noticed,
you're not wrong.
We noticed. And while we're on this subject, I just wanted to talk about this because, this is better. I will say they're going in the right direction. This is much better than season 1, where we had copy-paste ships, literally copy-paste ships. The problem that I have with these ships, especially these hero ships now that we have from Stargazer last season and Titan here, is the scale is off. Like, really, really off. Like, this ship is as big, probably as big as the original Enterprise. And I feel like...
Oh, God, that's small.
It's very small. It's very, very small. Like, it's
okay to be small, though, Daniel. Like, it
like
doesn't
Voyager.
need to. It's not. They're not all going to be bigger than this, like, Sovereign class.
But that's the thing. We don't have the big ship anymore. I don't know. I kind of.
I will say it did take me a little bit to grow on the Titan, but it's a really, like, it's the hero ship of this season, and you kind of learn to love it. Like, I really enjoyed it. No, not in a negative way, but like, because I mean, like, Beverly's ship, like, when they dock that shuttle, you're like, oh my gosh, it's like the Franklin. This is like itty bitty, which is fine. Again, like, why would she be running around on a Galaxy class? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's
I will say that what's the name of it? Because they were saying the name.
They say it. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't realize that was the ship's name. Like, I thought it was like a code or something. Like, it's like Siri, it starts with a vowel. Like,
it was like the
Julius or something.
Began with the H.
I think it was A.
Well, I think it was a medical
or...
term.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's a.
But it threw me
interface.
off because, I mean, this is just, I don't know the rest of the story. I know you do there, but it just threw me off because, like, based on the context, it seemed like Beverly is independent. Like, she's, this is her own thing. Like, it's like, I don't, like, we always see civilian ships doing their own thing, but that clearly looks like a Starfleet ship. Like, clearly looks like a Starfleet ship. Like, no bones about it.
And that's the thing, too. Why this design makes no sense, because you're taking the size of a bigger, larger ship and shrinking it down to this. And the bridge module, I guess you'd say, is about 2/3 the size of, like, a regular bridge. Takes up most of the ship. And it's like, wow, okay, that's just a shuttlecraft. That's just a shuttlecraft that looks like...
The internal volume, it is basically like 3 runabouts strapped together. But yeah, and you're not wrong. It does have a Federation style. I think they're trying to imply it's like Federation style rather than Starfleet style, because you're not wrong. It does look like a Starfleet ship, but we don't know where it comes from. But it is her ship.
All right. So anyway, well, but yeah, with Jean-Luc and Will, I'm trying to think of anything else. Their dynamic, I think, is fun, and I think it's a different dynamic because, of course, they're equals, for lack of a better word. Now, I mean, he's not the first officer. Technically, an admiral retired and a captain are different ranks, but they're just both the same guy. I mean,
they balance equal out in rank uno. It's like, oh well, he's just one non-ship captain and one retired admiral. Like Shaw says, like it doesn't amount to hella beans.
I'm pretty sure the whole time.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah.
I mean,
there's one moment where he calls him captain,
which I think is funny.
Which is fun. Yeah,
because the context matters. It was sort of like, oh, captain. Oh. I mean,
it's context king. Yeah.
He does. Like Riker does this like puppy dog snap, like protection of Picard twice in this episode,
He's
and I thought that
protective,
was very cute. I really liked that.
Yeah,
and both times Picard's like, it's fine. I can handle it.
It's like, how dare you stand where he stood? Do you know how many times he saved the galaxy?
I wish he had said that, but we'll get it.
Well, and when he's so. Well, and when he's like, they're talking about the codec, and he's like, "Well, you were incapacitated." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Well, you were Locutus of Borg." Like,
I love it. That's the euphemism that they've had to agree on. Don't trigger with the B or the L word. That's interesting. Which I don't remember that. I mean, are they implying that the Borg sent them a virus? I mean, it wasn't Locutus that long.
I'm pretty sure that is not in any next gen episode, but they added it to that moment in history, and that's fine. It's part
it
of the
seems
story.
To imply that during Best of Both Worlds Part 2, because I mean he's Locutus at the end of 1, there was a side adventure for the Enterprise team.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Borg. Hey, hold on, I'm going to use a distress signal. Hold on, we're gonna. So I can see like maybe he was recuperating. It doesn't matter. Okay. So unless there's anything more about Jean-Luc and Will, which I love their dynamic, and it's very cool. Can't leave anything else that jumps out. Let's get into, as we're going to call her, Seven.
Yes. Call her Seven.
Don't get me started.
We'll talk about that.
We'll get to him in a second, but let's talk about Seven. So,
because I was going to say about that, and we'll defer. But just that she's in a weird position, I feel like. So I guess what's implied, not implied, what's actually spoken out loud, is that between season 2 and 3, both Picard and Janeway convinced her to join, and now she's a commander. So that's fast. So that was, I guess, when you have two admirals pulling.
Now, Daniel, I feel like you're implying these are two very important people that when they give their word.
We'll get into it, Philip. We'll get into it.
I'm just saying, can't have both ways. That's all I'm saying.
It's kind of hard to take the Shaw context out of Seven here because she's obviously very frustrated and
lower your expectations.
I was surprised that she did what she did, like just out of the blue. Like she did it. She did it before she even knew why she did it.
Yeah, I mean, in a point that I think has to do with the fact that this is a 10 episode season and like you got to move the plot along. Like if this was a 26 episode season, I think that would have happened like 2 episodes later instead of in the pilot. But I think that's just a nature of like, they got to keep the story moving. Is
because again, from and again, I'm not a TV person, but like from an editing camera perspective, the camera seems to imply that she overhears Jean-Luc, like she has super Borg hearing, because like they're being like, "Oh, we have to go help Beverly," and Seven's like looking at him way back down the hallway, like.
Yeah, it does imply that they're on some sort of mission. They can't tell her, and so she's like, "I'm going to make the call anyway to disobey her captain."
But again, if we take this context and we put it in a next gen episode, if somebody comes on board and is like, "Will you mutiny because our friend is in trouble," is not good justification. Like that, we would look at that person as a bad person. Like so my concern is that she's going to look bad at the end of this, even if the outcome is good, because like that's such an extreme thing to make her do, you know, especially after like 5 minutes. It's like she doesn't even have the whole context. So
and Daniel, she didn't phaser him. That's mutiny. He was clearly established. You can't phaser your captain.
Although, one of Shaw's stupidest mistakes is he puts her in charge of the investigation of her. So she could just say, "Oh, I didn't do anything wrong." He's like, "I want a full report on everything they did." And it's like, they just got out on their own. I don't know how. It just was so weird. But that's fine.
Yeah.
But also,
I mean, Seven. Yeah. Well, and there's also, they're implying like that not only does she have loyalty to Picard due to
season 1,
him helping her get this position, but also the ex-Borg camaraderie. Like they've both been through something that not many other people have.
XP's for life.
But still, mutiny is pretty big deal. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and the thing that, and I know it's hard to do, and it's probably expecting too much, because I was thinking about this during season 2, which, anyway, is that with Seven in this new role, Commander 7, that's what I'm going to call her, is that she's the first officer, and as we think we know, every ship may be different, as we think we know, that's someone who's dealing with the crew a lot. So my question is, like, what's her dynamic with the Titan crew? Maybe we find out, but what does Ensign LaForge think of Seven, but like, is she like cool? Do people like her? Do people not like her? Is she like, people like the captain better than her? Like, what's that dynamic? Because like what I'm talking about in season 2, how was Captain Rios as captain? Because like we never got the it was like, oh, this cool thing you saw in the first episode, and then when he goes back in time, he's like, Stargazer who? And it's like, I mean, we tend to think that Starfleet captains care about their crew, but he's like, I can't remember my first officer's name. Whereas here, like, now I want to know, like, Seven, how is she integrated? Because I get, asshole captain, but like, how's the rest of the crew? How is she? I mean, I know it's a lot to cram,
and we will explore that a little bit. Like, we do see some of her interaction. You're right; she is the XO, and she plays that role on the Titan.
Because, like, is her frustration just all of Starfleet and the status of things, or just this one guy who, we'll go now. But
I think it does kind of delve into, what happens when you are on a ship and you don't have a Captain Picard. I wouldn't even say a Jellicoe, because at least Jellicoe, like, made sense with a lot of his decisions. So it's like, what do you do when you're in this, utopian futures still have assholes? So it's like, how do you combat that? So, and they'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna get that in about a couple seconds here. But yeah, it was because it all flows, But yeah, I guess that's because that's. And we'll
in
also
conclusion, I will say I don't think Captain Rios would have gotten along with Captain Shaw. I'll just say that.
I don't think they would have either.
I don't think Captain Shaw would have liked Captain Rios very much.
That would have been funny.
Captain Rios would have been like,
command.
I'm sitting here on this giant Excelsior ship, and you're on this little dinky Titan. It's like, we see who.
Does Captain Shaw have small ship syndrome? Anyway,
maybe.
So let's go into it. Let's go into Captain.
That's why he was mad they stole the shuttle. It was like 10% of the mass of his ship. It was.
I love that we finally got to see the unauthorized shuttle launch button.
It's a button.
Yeah,
it clearly says unauthorized, so you know what they're reading. Oh, unauthorized. It says right here. It's an unauthorized
Just hit the
shuttle
button.
launch.
It'll close the shuttle page.
Yeah, there was a lot of good. I mean, just on a sidebar for a moment, like the L cars in this new generation looks amazing and beautiful.
Like, we know you're going to pause, so we're going to work.
Well, and even when like they're on Beverly ship and Riker's like, oh well, there's this system and this system. Like it's plain text right in front of him saying he's just reading from it. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
All right, so let's go into the Shaw of it all.
Yes.
Daniel, since you have less context than Darren, and I'm sure he's going to be the best character in Star Trek ever, but in this episode, what's going on with Captain Shaw?
So I, especially initially, in the beginning, the first half of his interaction with Riker and Picard, I like him. I like his no nonsenseness. The thing that really upsets me is forcing Seven to go by Annika. That's the one thing about him I don't like, and like actually really makes me hate him, because you don't get to choose someone else's identity. So I actually think that's kind of unforgivable, but maybe there's some context. I don't know. Other than that, and like, I think they go a little too far at the end of the scene where he just sort of walks out on them. I kind of liked that he was just shutting them down. It was like, nope, this is not. I'm not doing this. Like, this is just not happening. Like, he's just not in love. He's not in love with our characters like we are, and that's what I'm sure is going to be the tension there, right? That's his narrative goal, and I think he plays it really, really well. The guy, you just kind of like. I like to not like him. I like to hate him, and like see our characters clash with that. So I like him. But I really, really think that they have to put some sort of redeemable quality there, because once you start like bullying someone like that, like Seven, and like she's like clearly frustrated with that situation, that's going a little too far for me. If you want this guy to be a good guy, now maybe he is going to be the villain at the end of the show, and I don't know that, but I assume not. I assume that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm just going to say the same thing you said, but like in a lot of like coverage, like, oh, he was mean to Jean-Luc and Will, and that's why we hit him. Like, I mean, we can debate that, because I think it's debatable. But it's debatable. But, I mean, dead naming? No, we don't do that. Zero tolerance? No. I mean, that's a no. And not only does he do that, he literally says, ex-Borg. I'm like, okay, no. This is like, unless you're like, partner or child maybe it was, killed by the Borg. I mean, which even then, you're Starfleet captain. But, like, no, this is just not even zero tolerance. So I'm like, okay, you're going to have to be doing a lot of work for this guy over the next couple of episodes to redeem that. So I don't know, Darren, I know you can't talk without talking, but
no, I will say I really like the character of Shaw. Over the next several episodes, he's a really well acted, really engaging character. And everything you guys have said is absolutely right. I think we need a foil. Like, how boring would it have been if it was just some no-name Bolian sitting there and he's like, sure, Admiral Picard, let's go here. Like, there'd be no drama at all. And that's not a compelling story. Like, you need, it can't just be the space battles and the other ships out there that we're fighting against. Like, yeah, we can have interpersonal conflict. This isn't the Roddenberry era of Star Trek.
This isn't TNG, despite the title.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
But early season TNG. But no, I think you're absolutely right. You know, Shaw, I will say, yeah, they do get into Shaw's backstory. There are reasons for his actions. It's not a justification, but it is a reason. And yeah, I kind of love how he's like, no, I'm not like, these are my orders to go over here. And you can, it was fun watching it again though, because in the dining scene where he's, you know, kind of like, well, we're going in the opposite direction. And Riker's all like, oh, they go twice as fast. I'm like, Riker, that's not how that works. Like, what are you talking about? But he's kind of on board. Like, he's kind of, until Picard missteps with Starbase 4. And that's when he's kind of like, okay, I'm going to call Starfleet and double check these orders, basically. And so, yeah, no, I will say, yeah, it did take, personality wise, it takes a while for Shaw to grow on you, because he is an asshole. He is in the wrong with a lot of things he does. But overall, I will say, like, he is not the villain of the story. He is the foil in a moment, you know, as
I don't know.
part
We
of
were
the
told
plot.
not to trust Starfleet, and he is Starfleet. So
I mean, that is true.
Beverly
that is
specifically meant him. That's why.
Well, I mean,
name names.
know,
they did a
Shaw.
really good job of keeping Starfleet out by bringing this Starfleet ship to Beverly. So they're batting 1,000 so far. But
on a couple counts. Riker seems to have a half a plan at best.
No, he does. Riker
he's
very much like
Jean-Luc has given him everything. Like, Riker's, I got a plan, and they're like, and I feel like Jean-Luc would be like, that was half a plan.
Yeah,
it was a ruse. It was a ruse.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Riker doesn't really like, because that's the thing. Like, after the dinner scene, you're like, that was it. That was the plan. Was just kind of tell him to do it, and he said no, and you're like, I got nothing.
I'm going to pick the Titan, which isn't really my Titan, and I think you know the first officer, and plan on done it. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's not a very good plan.
Did you do any research about this guy? Anyway, but yeah, with the Shaw, because you were saying, Darren, if this had been some bully, I wish it had been an alien. But anyway, we're neither here nor there, I suppose. I mean, it's another white.
No, I would never replace Shaw. He's a good character.
Still have the same actor, but just make him a bully.
You can just be bullying.
Why is there a problem? I mean, other than he doesn't wear makeup. But anyway, but like, I think there's a happy medium, because I think, like, I mean, again, maybe it all gets explained, but like, you know, they're like purposefully, and I know they are purposeful. That's why I'm saying it, purposely doing everything to make this guy bad. Because it'd be like,
make him unlikable. I won't say
because if it was like,
he's not
wrong. Well, okay, he started eating before they were there. Like, I'm saying,
That's
every
rude.
single I'm listing 20 things that they've purposefully done.
Yeah, you're right.
And it would have been like a different story if he had been cool and they arrived, and then midway through he's like, this doesn't sound right. No, I don't. You know, I know you guys, saved the world from the Borg twice, actually, now that I think about it. And so many other things, but this doesn't pass the smell test.
But I get the feeling he's just not a happy person. He's just a miserable son of a gun that you don't want to be around most of the time.
This is Rio season 1. We know you didn't see it, so we're going to try it again.
Well, you know, it makes me think of like Jellicoe. So Jellicoe is now a captain that we see that we don't incessantly like, that he pushes our crew, but he's also not wrong. But there's obviously a major difference between Shaw and Jellicoe. This is like Jellicoe with a 5-day beard stubble, and he's kind of out of it. Because Jellicoe was at least professional, like through and through, you know.
And he was sort of disruptive, like, and I have to watch Chain of Command again, but like he was, because he's very friendly. Oh, hey, is it Will or William? Is it Bill? And he like, he has
charm. Shaw has no charm,
and he wanted to disrupt. Like, he wanted to add the extra shift. That's disruptive, but that's it. He's the commander, and that you sort of like, oh, this is not Jean-Luc. And then he put Troy in a different uniform, and I was like, you know, there's a parallel between that and 7, but one is professional and good.
There's no
one is disrespectful and a bigot. But I'm like, so Jellicoe, like, you could be like, oh, he kind of isn't Picard. That's who Jellicoe is. He isn't Picard.
I mean, I will say they give the biggest dose of asshole in this episode, and then again, you're seeing a single episode and context, and at least from what I've witnessed over the next several episodes, like it has room to grow. He does evolve as a character. There is reason for his action. Mm-hmm. So all I'm saying is you're totally right in judging him by what you've seen so far, but that will evolve as we see more of the story, and which is good. And that's how stories go. So,
and I don't have a bunch of examples, but this is kind of, and it's a writing thing, and we all have our own perspectives. I just don't like this of like, we're going to make this character unlikable, but then we're going to make you love him. I'm like, yeah, but no, I don't like him. I mean, maybe I'll reach that journey. Maybe I won't. Because I remember, I know may not mean anything to y'all, maybe to Daniel. 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, to me, unlikable, the first episode where he appears, and very grumpy and da-da-da-da. And then like by the third season, I liked him because he had changed. But I still don't like those first 2 seasons because he's a grumpy, you know. I'm like, if you make a character unlikable, guess what? I'm not going to like him. This isn't rocket science. And you're like, wait till the journey. I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to take the journey because I feel like it's a happy medium you can do.
No, yeah, you know? and I won't say they go out of their way to make him like he's not. I wouldn't want to serve under Shaw still, like, but I understand him more, and that's okay. And there's plenty of other likable characters in this season, so we can have one asshole amongst the group. So
yeah, okay. Yeah. I guess, and again, not that there's.
I speak of the entire Next Gen cast.
I know all that. But I mean, because I'll just say, and look, it's not like Star Trek has not had, not bad, but unlikable captains. They have. But it's just like, there's a part of you, a part of me, I'll make it personal. Part of me that's like, Starfleet, that's what I watch the show, it's what I love. And it's like, oh, but they're still terrible people. I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't like this. And, you know, it's kind of someone pissing on your Cheerios, basically. Anyway, all right. Moving on to probably something else I had not fun with, but we'll go with it. Raffi. Darren, what'd you think of Raffi is also in this? Yeah, yes, which is what I found
in this.
That was introduced in this. Raffi's also in this. What did you sort of think of her this first episode?
Yeah, no, I think it was fun watching this episode with the context of later. Just there were some other little things I picked up on that I didn't obviously know to look for, But yeah, I mean, it's again, it's the A plot and B plot, and they're going to intertwine. Like, she has the mystery. Like, there are two mysteries that are maybe the same mystery, and I liked the Red Lady. I love we get the Rachel Garrett statue. It's kind of cool. Boy. Well, you know, it's another inciting incident, really, for her. And again, I think
not for Rachel, she's dead. No.
Well, but just like for Ralphie, just like Picard, you know, they are reestablishing her. I mean, you could not watch season 1 and 2 and be like, who is this character? And they do a pretty good job. She's special intelligence. She has, you know, drug issues in her past, and, you know, she's flying by the seat of her pants and all this stuff like that. Yeah, that's Ralphie. That's pretty much not, you know, that hasn't changed. So, yeah, no, I think she's fine. I'm glad she's there, because I don't think they need to be like, any new character we established in Star Trek Picard, throw them out. It's only going to be next gen original cast. Like, no, that's silly. We don't need that.
So Lara's coming back in episode 2 is what you're saying?
No, I mean, Lara's we've handed her off. She gets
one more scene at the last episode.
She's gonna go down to Bajor to teach for a while. Is kind of the vibe we're getting. But no, I liked Raffi in this. I think showing again, establishing her, and yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see where they go with her, because it's a lot.
Now,
of fun.
Daniel, I do have a question or two. A, what do you think of Raffi's appearance? And 2, is this a good representation of how Portal 3 will be?
Philip, people died here. Man, take it down a notch. Now, I'm a little less positive on this, just because it's like, oh, here's a character that also exists and is doing things, and it's just like weird because she's by herself most of the time and just like Googling. And at one point she asks the computer, she says, show me all of the major events in the coming months. And I'm like, there are hundreds of worlds and trillions of people, and like, and it boils it down to 3 events. And I'm like, how did the computer determine what was?
Look, Daniel, on Frontier Day Wiki, you don't understand.
I just laughed. I just laughed at that. I'm like, this is so silly. I mean, obviously we don't know anything. Like, so I have no idea how this is tying. Like, is the Portal people the same people that come out at the end? I don't know. We don't know. They're the same color, right? Orangey. The ship was orange and the portal was orange. And man, it sucks to be what was that? What was that? It was Starfleet or something. So Starfleet. What do we know what that facility was?
I think they said, but I've already forgotten.
Yeah, they did state that it was technology that had been stolen from the Daystrom Institute.
No, but what was the actual building?
Oh, it was a recruitment center.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh,
on a planet.
That's a big recruitment center.
That was huge. Yeah. It looked like it was Disney World.
Big, Philip. Starfleet is a massive organization.
Have you ever gone to any recruiting stations in America? They're not that big.
That's one planet. This is the galaxy.
Okay. So then, like, if that's the case, then these people are, I mean, obviously they're terrorists. They just killed a bunch of people, but they did it. They double did it, because if they were particularly aiming at the recruitment center because it was Starfleet, and that's who they were targeting, then they just dropped the building on a whole bunch of random people, because those were those.
Yeah, look, it's a company town. They hit Starfleet no matter where they dropped the building.
Okay,
yes.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's, I think, only look at it so far as it's an act of terror against Starfleet. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Don't read too much into it. Like, oh, well, they dropped it on District 2, and that's populated by Bolians, so that must mean no.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I remember obviously that was in the trailer and teaser. I don't know. I mean, and obviously it's only the first episode. I'm almost like, I could have done without all of it. I'm sure it's all vital and will take us. It's the whole reason for the season.
It's another inciting incident.
To tell you the truth,
it's the inciting incident of the B plot, which will interweave with the A plot. Whereas Beverly was the A plot, and so that you need something to bring Raffi into the story.
And I mean, I'm not trying to get rid of Raffi, but I don't know.
I think it'd be fun.
I am, yeah. Because it's, and again, first episode, we don't know. It seems like this character gets reset every season. Because
She kind of does.
First season,
It's very different than season 1. Very different than season 2.
Living in a no, there's anything wrong with a trailer. I lived in a trailer.
Vasquez
living
Rock.
in a trailer.
So it's a pretty good location to be living in a trailer.
Yeah, but in the middle of the desert and smoking whatever she was smoking, living alone, estranged from her family. End of season 1, she's I think back in uniform if I remember correctly. I might be misremembering that. But anyway, and then season 2, she's XO of the Excelsior, whatever. Who knows how we do these things anymore. But she loses Elrond. Is that his name, right? Anyway,
Elroy.
Elroy, yeah, from the Jetsons, right?
His boy, yeah.
But she's broken up with Seven, and then that whole season. But at the end of it, they seem to be back together, and things are looking. Season 3, she's on, and I'm like, good Lord. I mean, just good Lord.
She is that little girl she's looking at, is that her granddaughter? Did she?
I think
did
so.
her
I think it's her granddaughter.
Kid?
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah,
remember.
no, because in the first season she's estranged from her son,
right?
And
But I didn't
because he
remember
felt
him
like
having
she
a
never
child.
chose him.
Yeah, because she was pregnant. The wife was pregnant. I think.
Yeah, so that's her granddaughter.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's what I figured. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah,
Did she take the drugs or not? Because I wasn't
She does
sure
not.
of how it worked.
She
it's
drops the
very dark
drugs on.
where
She
is.
drops them on the ground and steps on them at the end. She does not take the drugs.
Okay, because it was a weird container, like it was a
You
diamond.
control your operatives with drugs.
I'm like, how do you even take that? I don't even know what. I don't think it was a hyper.
You'll find out.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Also, another question
That
about
mystery is revealed.
How to take drugs? Oh, we're looking forward.
Another question was she was dealing drugs with a man who
She was buying drugs.
buying drugs. So this random drug dealer
Yeah,
just knew about this terrorist attack.
because as she said, he knows people. He's connected.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it was hard to tell. Because they start
Again, think of it as like there's not a ton of setup into the inciting incident of Beverly. There's also not a ton of setup in the inciting incident for Raffi. Like it's like, don't think about it too much. Here we go. Now we're on an adventure. Like that's really as much as you got to think into it.
I guess from a character standpoint, when she first started, the story, I lost my lady. I shouldn't say that. But anyway, and like, you're like, is this real? Because it's like, okay, but then like,
All right, is it a cover story or is it actually true?
and then she walks away and you're like, oh, it's a cover story. And you're like, what is it? Because I was like, she's kind of still acting like everything she said is true. Because you're like, oh, I think, because now I want to know, did Son and her break up again? Like, I mean, it's fine. You don't have to stay with the person forever. But like, they sort of built it up. They broke up once, now they broke up again, and now I want to know. Now there's questions. And is she on drugs? Is she not on drugs? I mean, I know she didn't, but is she? I don't know. They leave it all up in the air. And then now she's texting her Section 31 contacts.
I don't think she's on drugs, but they have shown in the past that she was on drugs. So it's like you put an addict or a recovering addict in an undercover situation, like that's still difficult.
But it's almost too. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. Like, that's not a good situation for her.
No. These are desperate times, Philip.
Are they? Anyway.
Frontier Day is the most desperate of times.
I thought Starfleet Intelligence got the weekend off. Anyway. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Because I almost worry there won't be enough for her. Like I said, I'm not trying to get rid of her. But I mean, she wasn't used last season. I'll say it that way. So it's not like I have any great love for her.
Do not worry. She is the full B plot. Don't worry. She gets a lot of it. Just like the Titan, she gets a lot of attention. They're not overpopulating the cast. I mean, yes, they're including all of Next Gen, but like in general, like
making an ensemble. Yeah,
everybody gets something to do. Mm-hmm. What were you saying, Daniel?
I don't remember. I was going to say Philip doesn't remember season 2 where she got really mad about Elrond dying.
Yeah, but that was like, it was a nothing burger. Like, it was like she's mad the whole time to a point of just being illogical. Like, I don't care about the timeline. Boom, boom, boom. Like, okay, you gotta care about the time.
Didn't he come back to life? Or no, did he not?
He does. Because
he does.
It's a cube.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Which, I mean, now I feel like you have to mention them.
Because you gotta, the problem is you guys are remembering season 1 and 2. You don't have to remember season 1 and 2. don't think about season
but
1 and
here,
2.
Though they clearly remember season 2.
Here's the thing, Darren. There were patterns in season 1 and season 2, and I'm starting to see the beginnings of some of those patterns in season 3. So
True.
That is where I'm at.
No, and you're right. And I remember feeling like that when I had watched only one episode. So give it time. Just give it time.
So that's all I have. What are your other random thoughts, Daniel, about The Next Generation? Just the episode, not the series. Like First Contact.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, the movie or the show? I don't think I have much left. We kind of really went into everything. There was a lot of talk about like, it's on the edge of Federation space, and I'm like, the edge is still part of the. It's a border
universe.
Why is this like? Why are you guys scared to go there? It's still your space. Well, it's like, it's right on the edge. Well, this planet and this system is still part of the Federation. Like, I was just weird. There's like this weird, like, sort of taboo about going there. And I'm like, this is not a thing that's ever been.
It would have been interesting if they had placed, and maybe they did, because I know that I saw a lot of Twitter like, where's this planet and where's this planet? And I was like, I mean, that's interesting to me, but not that interesting. But like if they said, former Romulan space, or near Breen, or like edge of Federation, where are we talking about? A little bit
more context, yeah.
It's a big universe. Galaxy, sorry. What about you, Jaren? Any final The Next Generation thoughts?
Yeah, no, it was fun though. Like, everything you guys said about Shaw, he's a piece of work. But I love that we get Sydney LaForge.
It's
always a
There's
ship
something wrong with that ensign.
Yeah, that was fun.
No, Darren, you didn't say her name correctly. You mean Ensign Crash LaForge.
Yeah, well, that was a little rough by Riker to
that is pure will. Actually, pure Frakes. But that is very Will Riker. It's like, very loud voice.
Captain.
Was it twice?
So all of my crew that I work with know this. Thank you so much. Well, and that's going to be a really cool part, though, of the story is that, LeVar Burton, we have, so this is the actress, like the, that is his daughter, but then the other daughter that will see later was his actual daughter in real life. Gets to play.
Oh, I thought both of them were his daughters.
No, just one. I did think that too for a moment. Then I looked it up. I'm like, no, it's just the other one.
Because he has a son, I think.
So the other daughter is his actual daughter in real life.
Oh,
which
so
is
his
cool.
daughter's favorite. The son doesn't get to be on the show.
Well,
the son's like, I'm right here.
His daughter is the actress.
That's the story.
His daughter is the actress. But that was fun, and I got major generation vibes with like Asulu
Demora.
at the helm and Demora. That was kind of cool. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. But no, I think you guys hit on all the points. It has been fun watching this episode again, knowing what I know a little bit farther down. At the time of this recording, I've seen the first 6 episodes from the screener, but I still don't know how the story ends. So it's going to be very interesting. But I think to your point, Daniel, I can see some of the patterns that we saw in the previous 2 seasons. But I will say collectively, I've really been enjoying this season. I've enjoyed the Titan. I've enjoyed the character development. Everybody gets their part to play. It's a very well done season. Now, I'm always one that's more an optimist in general, except for Discovery. That show's kind of you knew it was coming. But I will say, I've really been enjoying Picard. I think you guys will too. It's a good mix of, I wouldn't even say fan service. It's just using our characters that we love. And if that's fan service, then it's fan service. But
I will say the only thing I didn't look. I don't have to get everything. That's fine. You can throw stuff at me, and I don't have to understand it. That's what Twitter will do for me.
Well, and again, they are allowed to reveal stuff after the first episode. They don't have to give you everything.
I'm talking about like references.
Okay.
So it was on Picard's desk. It was this big Bajoran thing.
Oh yeah,
I'm like
the thank you plaque or something.
Yeah, because like he didn't do anything.
I saw a tweet about it that talked about it. I don't remember what it was. But it had some connection.
Was it the Lieutenant Rowe Memorial Award?
There was a deep cut in Beverly's Cabinet of Curiosities
episode title
where it was like honorary member of Coralie, whatever. And I had to look it up because it's just a weird planet. So we never saw that adventure. That was the adventure that was considered top secret. And Picard mentions it in I think it's the Adversary or it's the one
Alliances?
Alliances. I know it began with an A. It's the one where the guys are eating the puck food in the middle. And so the Bullion knows about it, which is what gives her away.
Can't eat.
Yeah. So anyway,
great episode.
It's a nice little draw where it's like, again, that's just like the special submission of Best of Both Worlds that we don't know about. Here's a little piece of there was never an episode about that mission, but it has been referenced, so it's still in universe. So that was a fun
if they
little
don't
touch.
put these things in here, then we lose the whole cottage industry of the articles of 25 things you missed this episode.
It's so true. It's so true. I can see it now. 25 things you missed. This is Watch Trek Moto in
Which, by the way, I would enjoy that because it's usually like a regular episode. There'll be like 25 things you missed. It's like, did you know Jean-Luc was captain of the Enterprise? I knew that.
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper.
Will Riker was his first time.
Most people know.
It's like, there's a scene where Will Riker seems upset that no one wants the Enterprise D miniatures. Did you know that Will Riker was the first officer of the galaxy? I didn't know that.
By the way, I sorry to keep going back to this.
No, it's okay.
Do people just not know history? Like in the Federation Starfleet, like whatever happened 5 minutes ago is all we remember. Like,
look,
Enterprise
if you're not
D,
Kirk, nobody cares. No.
Enterprise D, who's heard of that? You mean the one that saved for the galaxy several times? I feel
apparently
like
when you
times.
crash your own ship, nobody cares anymore. They get really.
It's just the Enterprise E was selling better, which
to be fair, it's ancient history at that point. It's like
it is.
It is history.
It's the 25th century.
It's probably history that would have been taught in the academy,
30 years.
But
30 years.
Like you said, Daniel, it has been a while. Like new cadets.
But like I remember the 90s.
Well, you do, but like
yeah, but our kids don't.
Kids these days don't. Yeah, and you start
they
talking
have no
to them
context
about AOL, they're going to be like, "What do you? I don't know, man. I guess
that's part of it.
I mean, Pogs would not be selling right now. I find that ridiculous.
No, but that makes sense too. Again, with the title, with the next generation, this show is also about our time has kind of come and gone for our main characters, and it is now the time of younger kids as well as Shaw and other people of his ilk. So it's this transition. Yeah.
All right. What do you know? You got the episode title handy, Darren Moser?
Yeah, I'll jot that down.
It is.
Oh, yes.
Is it called Deep Space Nine? We're just going to go in order.
That would be amazing. But no.
Mott's Return.
I was reading the wrong season, so don't do that. Disengage.
Because he used to say
that's not normally what they. That's
12 things you may have missed about this episode. All right. Well, we look forward to it as we continue our voyage through Star Trek Picard, and it's 10. I'm making that up.
10
episodes.
Yes.
So each and every week we'll be going through it as we've done today. So 9 more left into what we hope is a nice season 3 of Star Trek Picard. So, Darren, if folks want to talk to you, I mean, I know they can't now because Frontier Day weekend. But after that, how can they reach you?
I'm very busy for Frontier Day. I got banners to make and fireworks to program. They can find me at drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI.
And Daniel, if folks want to talk to you about whether you are or are not Raffi's Starfleet Intelligence contact, where can they find you?
You just have to yell at your computer, and I'll appear. No, you can find me at one of Dan. That's the number one, not the word.
Computer, show me all the major podcasters.
Daniel, activate the warp drive.
And if folks want to talk to me about what Enterprise D I have available to throw in a glass, they can find me at NC Public Servant. Well, until the next episode of Star Trek Picard, I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
I'm Darren Moser. Next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Dun, 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 dun. Stranded here on City Alpha 3.